Yep, it's me, Eonin. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm bringing you the Wii Mini Malice button lock. This is an Apex List knife. Let's jump right in with specifications on this. We've got a 20 CV flat grind blade. It is a drop point. We've got black stonewashed tie throughout the entire knife. All the hardware is black stonewashed. We've got a button lock design. This is a Ferrum Forge knife. It is built by Wii, but it has the Ferrum Forge design logo right there. Let's jump in with some other specs too. We've got 2 inches of usable fine edge on the blade. We've got a scale length of 4 inches. We've got a tip to tail of just under 7 inches at 6 7/8. And a weight of 3.4 ounces, so not very heavy considering this knife is made out of metal, titanium. Let me tell you what I like about this knife. I've always loved the look and feel of the Ferrum Forge designs, especially the Archbishop and the Malice. So this is right in my wheelhouse as far as eye candy, as far as appeal of the way that it looks. What it does offer is solid ergos. There's a good sized finger choil on the front. The knife feels well. You can get all 4 fingers on the knife with my large glove size hands here in hammer grip or in saber or Filipino. And then you've got a front choil if you want to move up for a little bit, for some pull cuts or some a little bit more stability up there, right? You get that too. Again, the choil size is pretty good in the front. I won't say it's huge, but it's good size, large glove size hand, decent sized fingers, fits in that choil. Okay, if you got big fingers, you might not totally like this choil. It has a good solid pocket clip that actually works. It's not super deep, but again, this is not a super large knife either. It fits in your pocket really well. The button lock on this thing works great. There is no lock stick whatsoever on this. It can be used via a flipper tab, and if you have good strong hands, you probably could flick this knife out there too, as there is a blade cut out here for spidey flicking. I'm not great at that. I just prefer to snap it out there with the flipper tab. I carried this knife a good bit. It's an Apex knife, so I only get it for a limited amount of time. I've tried to put it in my pocket several days since I've had it, and I found it to be a good EDC knife. It feels great in your hand in either position, and it carries really nice, mostly because it's a flat-sided knife with smooth scales. So again, at 3.4 ounces, you really don't notice this knife in your pocket very much at all. Are there any issues or dislikes with the Wii Mini Malice? I would say there's one thing here that might concern some people. There's no lefty love here. The pocket clip is designed in such a way that it's not reversible. It does have a pretty good design. It does go in and out of pocket pretty easily, but you're not going to carry this knife, as it's a button lock, so you're not going to carry this knife safely in a left pocket. It would be carried like this, and the odds of hitting the button on something and deploying the knife might be a little higher. So this is not a left pocket knife at all. This is either going to be a right pocket or a 5th pocket type of carry, depending on the type of clothing that you wear. So let me give you a size comparison on this knife. Let's start with something everybody knows. Let's start with a Benchmade bug out. There you go, right? Similar length and size. Okay, now for those of you who are Ferrum Forge fans, I'm going to show you some of their other popular knives next to this. Let's show you a Ferrum Forge Stinger in full tie. Stinger's a little longer blade, a little bigger handle, a little more handle size here on the back. Not a whole lot, but some. And if you go up into the front choil on the Stinger, you're going to have a little bit more room. But there it is with next to the Stinger. Stinger's obviously a little bigger. Now let's show it to you next to a Prolix. Here is a Ferrum Forge Prolix. Boom. Very similar, right? Prolix has this kind of cut down here. It takes a little bit of handle length off, so a little smaller on the scale length. Now, let's show it to you next to a mini Archbishop. Let's move this up a little bit. Here's a mini Archbishop. And here is a Civivi Odium, which is basically Civivi's version, a Civivi version of the mini Archbishop. So there's all three knives. So this, I think the most closest comparison of these is going to be the Odium. So here is the Odium lined up at the back, and you can see the difference in size between the two, right? So the Odium is a good sized knife for a fifth pocket knife, but I wouldn't really call it a medium sized knife. Whereas the Wee Mini Malice is definitely larger, thicker, a little longer, a little better ergos for a little larger hands. So I like it. Now obviously one's a button lock and one is not, but you can see that they are basically the same, pretty much the same knife design. And there you go, side by side comparison of the two. All right, so there it is. There's the Wee Mini Malice. There it is next to a Ferrum Forge Mini Archbishop and a Civivi Odium. All right, folks, here's what I think of this knife in summary. It's bigger than an Odium or a Mini Archie, so I love it because I like both of those knives, but those are truly small fifth pocket type knives. I do like the ergos. I do like the fit and finish. I kind of dig the fact that it's a button lock. That's really cool. So kudos for all that. The knife is a quality piece for sure, but it runs between $250 and about $280 depending upon which finish you get with it. This one is around $250. That's a pretty good penny for a knife this size. So you better be ready to open your wallet if you want to pick up a Wee Mini Malice button lock. But if you are a Ferrum Forge fan, you're probably going to want one of these in your collection, I would imagine. All right, so that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank everybody who tunes into the channel and watches all the time. If you're new here, thank you as well for stopping by and checking out the review. If you like what you see, hit that like button down there and think about subscribing for me. That's all I got for you this week. Have a great day and stay sharp, everyone.